Yeah, I got a question.
Yep. Okay, go right ahead, sir.
This guy sounds like a really intelligent person to me. I'm a big fan of I just can't understand. I mean, granted, I'm only 39 years old, but I got friends that are the same age as me, grew up in the same neighborhood as me, and they've never, that I've seen, and we used to hang out a lot, never even been subject to racism, but once we, got older a little bit and they went their way and I went mine and I met up with them, later on in life, they got this attitude that, oh man, my people and we were treated so bad for so long, and I'd ask them, say, look here, Josh, what are you talking about? You and I grew up in the same place, and this gentleman seems to kind of, understand more along the lines of, hey, we need to get over it, and especially if it never happened to you.
May I ask, are you a white person or a non-white person?
I'm black.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we grew up in the same town, right out, side of Detroit, Michigan. There was only about three of us that hung out that were black. Oh no, four, because Ramon was with us. Four of us, and we all grew up in the, like I said, same neighborhood, same everything. And my one buddy Josh, he just like, he swears to this day that the whites did us wrong for all these years and blah blah blah. Well, I don't buy into that.
Well, that's a prerogative. I mean, a person can say that they don't buy into it, but that's a statement that a person is entitled to make. But I have taken the position that these crimes were committed and are being committed now. Otherwise, there would be no point in my presentation as of this moment.
Right. Well, it did take place. I've heard about it. Heard about my grandparents, the whole 9 yards. I get that, but it didn't happen to me. So I can't just keep bringing up something that happened to my grandparents years ago. I can't dwell on that.
If it's not happening to you now, then that's very fortunate for you, and I'd like to know how that was done, because I have made the statement consistently that if a person is non-white, that person is, as of this minute, not 100 years ago or 500 years ago, subject to the system of racism. The system of racism is a worldwide system. It takes in everybody who's non-white. And that is why I wrote my book, and that's why I'm having this conversation now. Now, that is either true or false. Now, just because I said it's true doesn't make it true. But in my evaluation, it is true, because I've never seen any situation that wasn't dominated by racism. I've never seen it, and I've never heard of it, because I was searching for it. I've always searched for a situation that was not dominated by racism. I have never seen it, and I've never heard of it. In all my travels and whatnot, I've never talked to anybody who says they know of a situation like that. And once I've talked to people who said that they didn't believe that that was a situation. So, but on examination, when I talked and asked certain questions about economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, I've never been in a situation or talked to someone who has been in a situation where racism didn't dominate one or more of those activities. Of course, if it dominates one, it'll dominate the rest of them too. That's what domination means. Once a person gets domination of one essential part of a person's existence, that's any kind of domination. Once a person dominates one essential part, that person or persons will dominate all the other parts, because all of the parts are interconnected. They're not disconnected. So it's just like a chain reaction. In other words, like holding the end of a chain. Now the chain may go over a building and through a building and around the corner and up under the ground and whatnot. But if that chain is around your neck or around your wrist or whatever, whoever jerks that chain, even though they are out of sight, you're going to feel it. because you're connected to the chain, and they're connected to the chain.
You're just kind of sounds like to me that you're just, pushing it along even more. I mean, you're not wanting to get over it. You're just wanting to make an excuse for it.
Oh, well, I could do that if it didn't exist. See what I mean?
Well, it doesn't.
That's the only way I can make an excuse. Now, if like the conversation started off saying that it existed a long time ago, my grandparents' day and all like that. Well, it did exist then, but what I'm saying is it exists now. I don't believe in fighting a battle that's long been finished, and no one should. That's complete insanity. I mean, that is certainly, you're trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. See, but the problem that I'm saying does exist in all of the areas of activity, and it exists 24/7 worldwide. Now, whether a person recognizes that or not, that's a different story.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. Yeah, I understand that. It just seems to me like, how can you continue a battle that nothing, that you had nothing to do with, and like you said, if it's been started like when my buddy Josh's grandparents, it happened to them. But like I said, to my best knowledge, it never happened to us. We grew up in the same place. We hung around the exact same people. We weren't treated any different than the white kids, and I just have a hard time with it now when I go home and see him, that now all of a sudden he's he's I don't even have words, but
he's what? What is it he's doing? He's saying something about racism?
Yeah, and that it's he's been it's been in his family for years, and so now he's got an attitude even against some of the guys we hung out with when we were little, and he just brings it up, and it's like I said, until we were 17, 18 years old, it never happened to us. But he's making it sound like he's got to take over a fight that maybe his grandparents had a long time ago.
Okay, well let's look at your associate Josh. Could it be that what he's saying, he's not making it up, and he's not talking about the past? Could it be possible that he's talking about something he's looking at right now, and that what he is saying is that he sees it, but that you don't? Is that possible?
Absolutely.
Well, see, that could be the case. Now, it could be, like you said, that he's making it up, but I don't think he's making it up, because I see it too, and I've always seen it. I've never been in a situation where I didn't see it. Now, if I was looking for it and it wasn't there, then that's something different. And I've heard people say that, saying, well, I'm looking at the same thing that you're looking at, but I don't see what you see. And I say, yes, I know. That's the treachery of the way racism works. That sometimes you can be looking at it, and I have this in the book that I wrote. In racial matters, many look, but few see. See what? See what they're looking at. You're looking at it, but you don't see it. Like an optical illusion.
But if you're constantly looking for it, then, that's like they say.
So, but you can only see it if it's there. Otherwise, you are making it up, in which case nobody should do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you're telling me just a second ago that you look for it. Well, if you're looking to see if something is racist, you're constantly, you got blinders on. You're looking for it, and you'll take any little, section of conflict or whatever and say, oh, that's racism. That's not because of, his bad attendance. That's racism. Because that's what you're looking for is what it sounds like.
But see, the thing that I claim, that when I do look for it, I see it. Because it is there. But it's not supposed to be there. That's the key. It's not supposed to be there.
But you're looking.
No matter how hard I look, I'm not supposed to ever find it, because it's not supposed to be there. Racism should not exist. That's the whole point. Just like cancer should not exist. See, now I can look past cancer. I can not recognize it deliberately, or I can recognize it deliberately, but I make up my mind that I'd rather not think about it, so therefore if I don't think about it and I'm not feeling the pain directly at that moment, because I'm laughing about something. Like a cancer patient has laughed, but the cancer patient still has cancer. See what I mean? So racism is the same way. Black people laugh all the time. They're the laughingest people in the world, collectively. Nobody laughs like black people. In fact, there's more jokes made about laughing black people than anything else. Even in the old days, when it was right in your face, this thing called racism, black people laughed more then than they do now. Black people were the biggest jokesters because they were trying to hide the pain. That's why. But over a period of years, they laughed less and less as the pain began to go away because they were laughing at the pain. They were trying to laugh off the pain. And now a lot of us try to put on the blinders to not see what is causing a world problem. Now, a person can look at President Obama and say, he doesn't really have a problem, like President Obama said himself, said, I'm trying to get health care for the people that don't have it. See, I have health care, me and my whole family. I will never have to worry about health care. I will get top-of-the-line health care. I already know that. He said, I'm trying to get it for the people that don't have it. He said, so if you're talking about me individually, he said, yes, I got health care, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not supposed to be concerned about other people not having it. See what I mean? So racism is the same way. There are some people who say, well, I've been able to skirt it, and I've been able to get by, and I've been able to do this. In the neighborhood that I was brought up in, I was able to shield myself from it. But see, the fact that you shield yourself from it means that it's there. And it shouldn't be there for you to shield yourself from it. I mean, that's the whole purpose, because when you try to move away, just like in the case of your friend Josh, when you try to reconnect with him, he's been hit by it full force, and his behavior shows it. And that saddens you, but that's a fact. And the reason it's a fact is because he ran into it when he just moved just a little bit, and it hit him full force. Really, it had him full force all the time, and that's when it's really painful.